Hello and welcome back, Conquest Coast, with another battle report slash recap. And we've played against Dweghom, and holy moly, it was a tight match here. Very good match here. Still, I was thinking about it. We did some stuff. We made a huge bomber. I mean, not a huge bomber, but it was a big bomber, hindsight. And it was we will go over some things we could have possibly played a little bit different. Alright, so starting the game there, you can already see my goals. They were coming in on the right side, right at that forest. So they have a little bit of cover there for now, and with the Sorcerer, they're able to maybe get me a few scores early. Our Maharaja with the healing is coming in the center, trying to hold it there. It's like the classy role we play with this unit. And in between we bring in the 4 archers with our Sorcerer. Because this time we have our Sorcerer inside of the archers. Because from what I kinda learned, against shooty armies, I want to put them inside my 3 men of Rajakur. So the Sorcerer is a little bit better protected against poke. And against more melee focused units, I want to play them inside my archers. So I have a Rajakur unit that I can use as a body blocker, and the Sorcerer can stay behind and get cover by maybe some other units. Alright, next turn we get in everything. Very rare. It's probably feels like it was the first time we got everything in that early. But hey, we take it. It's what it is. It's good. Already preparing some rituals here, and you can see he's placing his army more on my left side, and I'm coming in from the right side. I don't want to spread up too much. Same as on his side, he doesn't want to spread like super crazy, so he gives me the right side. I let him take the left one for now, and he's in a better position to get the center, but we cannot really stop them. Like, if armies can start scoring very early, like Nords or Dweghom with the Ranker, yeah, we have to give up those points early. Alright, so I sent the Rajakur, the 3 men, right next to my other Rajakur. They're like flank protection, coming in slow here, and I want to stage them a little bit with my flame casters. So setting up some more rituals. Yeah, our ritual bank. I think I was pretty happy with the ritual. With the rituals, I think the rituals this game was good. I had a good stack in the mid game. I had some rituals coming late, even after I've lost some characters, etc., etc. I move forward a little bit with my Rajakur, so I get at least something in range to cast spells on. It's not as easy to cast spells against the Dweghom because they have a lot of magic as well, so there's a lot of interference going on, so we have to take care about that. But still, I'm not too scared about those Berserks. We can cast spells on them, shoot them. If they charge us, we can try to wipe them off with some flame casters. Our goals here, they just hold this flank, score us some points. We cast the Seizing with the Sorcerer on those guys. He's coming in with the big block of, what are they called? Is it the Hold Warriors? The shield and spear guys. I was not too sure where I bring the Mahout, but in the end I was super happy with my Mahout placement. It was close to the center, able to heal up some stuff, still protection right now. And I don't want to sack him too early if possible, if not at all. Yeah, so that's why we place him right in the center of our army. He can also provide some spells and healing to do things that need it. He moves up there with the whole ballista and starts shooting our Rajakur. I mean, yeah, it's AP1, we're hardened 1, we have 3 up saves. We take 50% of the damage, it's fine. Yeah, so as you can see, we hop over with our flame casters. Thinking back, maybe I could have, like, because I mean it worked out here, but maybe we should have placed them a little bit safer so we didn't bank on initiative coming up next turn, because I knew he could move up with the Berserks, and normally you want to try to trade with it. The Berserks, they look like a trade unit, right? You want to send them in, they kill something, and hopefully they grinded out enough points, because yeah, if they're your front line, they get shot, there are just 3-up saves if I'm correct. So they're not melting like crazy, but they, with just 3 bases, they can die rather quickly. Now our Bakasura comes in here on that side, and yeah, that's what was something what I was thinking about. The placement here is good, because he makes him spread a little bit more. He has to take care about that Bakasura, because if he ignores it, it could kill stuff or hold that objective zone. So he probably want to avoid that. So we placed him not as far on the flank as I was thinking, but we placed him right next to that hill. So yeah, as you can see, that was I was saying. So he moves up with the Berserk. So if he, I mean, he does not have priority or the bonus, but if he gets it, he can charge in with the Zergs and maybe kill Flamecasters. So I think I should have moved the Rajakur a little bit further in, and then move like the Flamecasters behind it. So from how they are placed right now, they should just like swap position. That would be a lot better. But it was fine. We got initiative next turn, so all good. Our goals are still scoring over there. He's going for the center, so he scores 2 points right now. Goes up in score. I think it's 3-1 right now, or am I correct? We'll probably see it in a second. Alright, so going in the next turn, I really want to go with my Bakasura first. As you can see there, because I want to charge those Berserks and kill them. Or at least bind them up so they cannot charge anything good. So that's what we do. We charge them. We got, yeah, solid. We didn't, I think we didn't wipe them here in a single strike. But we did good damage because there was no Chadu running right now, so no reroll on the 6s. Yeah, we didn't do crazy damage, but we did some damage, and I think he loses the second base to the Aura of Death. Yes, that what happens. He activates those guys first. We take, I think, 5 damage or something. 3, alright. So I think that's pretty good. You can see our ritual bank is going up here well. Now, in the center, I think we moved up with our Rajakur. So we move in front of our Flamecasters to start protecting them. So if he cannot do some weird shenanigans. And the Flamecasters, they're size 2, so it's not a problem from the line of sight thingy. And they're within 14 inches of those hold ballista, so they can shoot the hold ballista, even if they're inside terrain. It's not crazy shooting, but we can start poking it down. Oh yeah, that's why we had 5 damage. He shot us with the ballista as well. Now, I think, yeah, the Flamecasters, they kill or try to kill the base, which they managed to do, which is good. Now he moves up now, and we could have done something so much better. but we messed it up. But I will tell you in a second. So here I try to charge with my Rajakur because it would be a cute charge, but we sadly fail. We sadly fail it. So we just move forward a little bit. It's okay. I was fine. So if I move forward, it's okay. But of course, if we make it, it's nice. We shoot on the Zergs. They already took a little bit of damage. We try to remove them as early as possible because they're kind of nasty in melee. Have a lot of swings. But against the Rajakur and stuff, they're not too crazy. I think it's like 6 or 7 damage plus. Yeah, it's about, if a full 3-man unit attacks us, it could go like to 9 or 10ish damage, I think. Well, not with that size actually, because we probably just fail. Like, it's more like to 8 to 9 damage, I think. Alright, so yeah, there was some shooting. We killed a Sorcerer base, which is nice. He's moving a little bit closer to kinda pressure my goals. But if he wanna expose his flank to the goals, that's fine. And if he wanna expose the flank to the rest of my army, that's fine. So, yep. As you can see, we measured it perfectly, so our Mahout was able to stand there. Like the position so far. Yeah, I think so far I was very happy with our early game. We got the damage we needed, we have good positioning, and so far I think we had just some minor mistakes with the Rajakur not in front of the Flamecaster, so a little bit of a shaky thing there, but the rest looks totally fine. Yeah, I think there's just a little bit more shooting and magic going on here this turn. And I think my opponent brings in his, what they're called, flame, forge guys, like the shooty, the AP2 shooters. I don't know what they're called. So yeah, I move up the goals. So if he attacks us, he's not inside of the object, because at that point the goals look pretty dead there to me. If he charges us, they die, but the Mahout pressures the flank. Here he sends in the Flame Berserkers, does some damage. I think... Oh, there was something else I have to mention. I had Dancing Scimitar, because I swapped my Dancing Scimitar at one of my Rajakur bases. Normally I play them as a 7-man plus character block, but I went down to 6 with a character, which allowed me to give Dancing Scimitar and Lord of Conflict to my Mahout Maharaja. But I completely forgot it and never used it. I remembered it in like turn 8 and was like, yeah, whatever. But I think actually it would have been quite nice here, and the extra damages here and there would have probably paid off. But it is what it is. That's why we do the recaps, right? So I can see what I did wrong, can see what I forgot or where I messed up. Yeah, he comes in with the AP2 shooters, starts shooting my goals. Luckily, he did just 3 damage, I think. Yeah, we saved 1, he hit 4, we saved 1, we just, we don't even lose stand. And he moves up the Drake, which is fine for us. Is fine for us. I know now we can kill that thing, and now, alright, moving in my next turn, I was just getting greedy with my Rakshasa, for whatever reason. I haven't played this guy too often, and I just felt like, oh, I can do the charge, dual clash thingy, but I think actually what I should have done here is I don't need to configurate into my Rakshasa, because looking back, I don't think it's super heavy priority for him to charge in with that Hold Warriors into my Bakasura, because then he's super close to like Flamecasters, fully blasting him and stuff like that. I could start with the Rakshasa, but I don't think it is the right play. I should have, if I go for a triple activation, I probably reform, move back, or what's even looking cuter is maybe just move with a triple activation completely behind him inside of maybe that forest over there. So if he wants to get rid of us, he has to reform and charge us. And I had to measure that. Maybe it's super far behind. So if he reforms and charges, it's kind of heavy for him to do. We could also move to the side, but I think I should have moved at least back with my Bakasura. So we keep him alive. He took out a unit. We can get him in a good position next turn. Maybe get him in with a ritual or something if something's close. Because sending him in here is just denying my opponent one turn. I mean, the Rakshasa, it melted quite badly. He rolled super bad on the defense, so I mean, nothing we can do there. But looking back, the other thing just does not give him the possibility to roll well against my Bakasura. We charge in with the Mahout. And actually, yeah, there is something I have to check, because I'm not sure if for a flank, does the majority of your base need to be in the flank? Because I think we played that wrong, because I think Conquest does not care about my job, like the bigger part of a base. If you're in both sides, you can actually choose. So I could have flank charged him here. Would it have made a difference? Yeah, actually I think it would. Actually, I think it would, because I could have had a better position the upcoming turn to maybe go with an element a little bit further and charging. But I really have to check that, because that's something important to know. Also for the shooting, it's the same. If you're partly in the flank, I think you can choose which part you're gonna shoot. So yeah, the Mahout kills those warriors over there. Or at least half of the unit, but that looks like a really favorable fight for us. I probably, yeah, the Bakasura had no priority there. That was actually just dumb, because we could have just go with the Mahout, so it binds up the guys over there, and next we go with the Rajakur to kill the Berserks. But I was thinking, oh yeah, I was maybe too scared that my Rajakur get broken so I can rally them and heal them up. But if I kill those Berserks, I don't think he would charge in with the Drake, because it's too many bases left. Yeah, I think the Rajakur have a higher priority there. Maybe we go Maharaja and Cascade into the Rajakur, so we can cast a spell, and if we get super lucky, we kill the Zergs and can maybe do something after. And if we still need the Rajakur, then they can maybe just clash and then start moving on the objective or something like that. Here was again, we weren't lucky with the charges. We reformed our goals and tried to charge the what's it called, the AP2 shooters, but we didn't get the charge, so we were able to score the point for another turn, I think, if he did not break us. but we didn't get the charge, sadly. Because if we get the charge, I mean, he can start chipping us up, but at least he's not shooting, and we can hold him back a little bit longer. And as you can see, now he does the berserks, and we should have already fighted with the Raj, with that unit to kill those Zergs. Giving him that attack there is just a misplay on my side. Clearly misplayed there. And with Sorcerer King, remember that we are a faction more on the lower end of power, so you are not allowed to do any mistakes. If you do 2 to 3 mistakes with this army, you're just done. You're just done for the game. You don't have the saves that can, I mean, yeah, you can totally crazy outluck your opponent, but if you do mistakes, your army can melt really quick. If you get the damage on the wrong spots, if you lose the wrong pieces, everything falls apart. So that's something you have to really consider if you play this faction. It's the margin of errors with this one, right, as it is right now, is very small. But that's what I love about this faction. There's so much things you can do. It's a very strong faction if you play them right, but if you do a few mistakes, man, it just falls apart so quickly. That's all I can say. So yeah, we start losing a bunch of Roshakur here, and now since we lose so many bases, we are a prime target for that Drake to kill us, and that is not good. That is not very good. I was checking if I can pivot to avoid the... If we lost one more, we could have actually pulled that one off, but we didn't. So we just moved backwards here. To make it as long of a charge for him as possible. So he can maybe fail it. But sadly, spoilers, he gets the charge and kills our Rajakur. And that's where we lose our Shulat. And that's very early. Turn 5, losing your Shulat. Not good. But we still were in the game right here. Because the Mahout is in a good position. He can kill my guys here. It was actually kind of close. If we had a base more, I think we would have survived here. If we survive, we then go with the... Because my next activation was the Rajakur and then the Maharaja. So we could have rallied them. And then hopefully heal up some guys. But yeah, we lose our guys. Which is sad. But we are in a position to at least answer that Drake. And that's, for example, one of the positions where like the dancing skimitar here could have done like already 2 to 4 damage. It's average 2 damage against. I guess it's average 2 to 3 damage against the Drake. So we could have done like I would expect it's 2.5. I would expect 5 damage here on the Drake from the skimitar. So I think, yeah, Dancing Skimitar is really good. I see a lot of people play it, and if you really think about it, it's 3 AP 2 hits, and there is nothing for 30 points. That's more that you get out of a archer base or a genie base, because the Windbound Jinn, they have like 2 point something hits with AP 1. And this one is just 3 AP2 hits, so it's just range 12, but it's a 12-inch bubble around the caster. So I think it's pretty good. If you remember it. If you remember to use it. Because, as well, if you get it off, maybe not in turn 3, but from turn 4 to 10, that's 6 turns, so it's 18 hits you can generate through a game. Maybe in some cases it is 21 shots you can get if something is already very close in the early game. Alright, so we start chipping the Drake, we tip over our guys, and yeah, we do good progress here because we have some shooting left. And oh yeah, I was already thinking if it was shocked, but we used the shock the next turn. Also, let me think, yeah, I think it was our only shock target because we lost the other Maharaja. And here you can see our Bakasura dying. How did he die? Was it the shooting from the ballista? No, I think there we just failed like 5 or 6 out of 7 saves or something, and we remove him very late. I remember that. So yeah, the Bakasura should have stayed back. Oh yeah, imagine here, even if we stayed back, we expose the flank with our flamecasters. Even if he attacks us, then we can maybe get a flank charge with terrifying. Ignoring the shields, yeah, whatever. Moving the Bakasura, that was just not a good play there. But I think I remember I had a lot of struggle learning to play with the flamecasters, and I have a lot more of success with them. And I think it's the same with the Bakasura. I just have to give him a few more games to really understand how to use him, because it is quite a fragile big guy, but it has a good threat range. It has potential to do a lot of stuff. Also late game, it can, with the duel and stuff, it can maybe give you a small edge with the objective play. Yeah, so I think that's something to consider. Playing him more defensive, go in and out, maybe. Yeah, use the ritual sometimes defensive, just go with a triple move to really get position, or move out of line of sight or something. Make it hard for your opponent to react your movements is something I have to work on and always keep in mind. Getting greedy with this army is rarely a good thing. You really want to use the early game to get position, rituals, and you have to understand which of your pieces line up well against which of your opponent's pieces. I think also that's a big part here, because some of our units are very specific in which targets they want to engage with. And that's something you have to understand, and with all the ranges and the screening, etc. Alright, so yeah, we go in our next turn. We shock the Drake and go into our flamecasters and aim. No, we shoot, charge, and clash. Because with the what's it called? With the shock, they hit pretty well for a ranged unit. It's 13 attacks hitting on 3s, hitting on 4s, and 9 impacts hitting on 3s. So they can accumulate quite some hits as well with the shooting. And as you can see, the Drake now, it was at some point on 19 damage, right? Yeah, I think it was 18 damage. Look at that. I could have just finished him off with a dancing scimitar. Or it could have been already dead with the scimitar. So, forgetting that one, huge, huge. You pay 30 points for it. So yeah, you see Maharaja, do the dancing scimitar, but we don't. Sad. We even had the right activation to free up our other flamecasters. But yeah, I need to make a note somewhere to remember that one. Maybe IRL I will put something on my guy, because there's so much space on the top of the Mahout if you put the character on it. So maybe I can do a small miniature with some dancing blades. Maybe an old wood elf war dancer painted in color could actually work quite well. Painted as like an elemental or something. But hey, let's keep going for the game here. Alright, we killed the guys with the spell. And now we move and charge with our Mahout. All good so far. We just get the trample there, but we can bind up the ballista. And he can start chipping us a little bit, but we can heal up. And as you can see here, we get a little bit light on that right flank. So I was panicking. I have to be honest here, I was panicking, and that's never a good thing. Don't panic, just do the calcs. Do the calcs, guys, don't panic. It's Conquest, the calcs are kinda easy to do. The average damage is kinda easy to understand in this game if you know a little bit of calculations for dice. So here I was checking if I get somehow, but yeah, the what's it called? The pivoting in this game is so tough. I think IRL with 12 inches of movement, somehow I get 2 bases on that objective. But I wasn't able to do it, and at some point I was just not feeling it anymore, so whatever, we just contested, it's all I need. I think that move is still fine. You can see he starts chipping a little bit on our Mahout. That is all good. We still have to finish off the Drake down there with our other Flamecasters. Is that... Is it the fighting from the... Yep, this was the Flamecasters killing off that Drake. And now, the thing is, it's still so crazy. We lost, I think, 5, 6, 7, 5-ish damage. Alright, yeah, we took some damage here on the Mahout, and here is the big mistake coming up. I do the Mahout in the upcoming turn. Oh man, it's so bad. I have so many rituals, right? I have 2 conflagrates. So the potential healing I have this turn on my Mahout is 7, 9. It's just crazy. I can counter heal it here so well, but I'm not playing it well. So I do the Mahout way too late, and it just dies. I mean, I have to do the calc here. I think it shouldn't die, but again, we cannot risk it, and the margin here is so small, right? So here's maybe expected damage of... I didn't do the calcs here, it's just... I think it should be around like 7, 8-ish damage. So we go up to maybe 15, 16 wounds. Alright? But it's a dice game. Like, having 4 or 4 more or less isn't like totally out of this world, right? So imagine if we can heal in between. We can kind of insta heal quite some HP if we play it right. So that's where we lose the Mahout, and from this point on it's getting super hard, because losing the Mahout, it's our centerpiece. I spent a freaking ton of points on that thingy, and it can do so much work. But yeah, you cannot sack it. The position this game was probably the best position I got with my Mahout so far, position-wise, because it killed something, got to the center point, can start getting a lot of Arcane Conduit, bind something up with the flank, can start counter healing and just be a bulky body blocker there that chips and melts stuff down with spells. But it is what it is, yeah. It is what it is. And that's what I wanted to talk with. I was panicking. Because the upcoming turn... Yeah, that's also why I lost the mood. Right. I have to jump back a little bit. Because I was like, I cannot lose my archers on that side. If I lose my archers, I cannot contest this zone. So I did the minus defense spell into shooting. And to be honest, the damage was not as good as it should have been. Like in the first shooting we got with the rerolls, like 16 hits, and he saved like 50% or even more of it on 2 pluses, and on 2 pluses it's more like 30% you should save. But again, it's stuff that can happen. But I have no reason to go that early on this side. he has to, I mean, if he has a super god roll, yes, he hits every shot and wipes my unit. But that's not what should happen here. So I should have activated the Mahout earlier, hit with it, heal it up with the Maharaja, get my Dancing Scimitar, and stuff like that, and keep my Mahout alive as long as possible. But we still had a possible out here a little bit later, to at least draw the game, because the score is super close. As you can see, it's 7-10 now. We score a little bit better the next few turns because we can get the side and the center, and I think the center is counting a little bit more. It's Maelstrom on the later. No, it's the sides that score later a little bit more, right? Yeah, it's the sides that score more. So we were kind of able to hold the sides a little bit and hold the center, but we are running out of pieces quickly. And I mean, now I always go with the minus defense and shooting thingy, and it just doesn't, it's not working off. We are not getting the damage. The saves on those Flame Force or whatever they call it, the shooty AP2 guys, were just insane. So yeah, we didn't manage to kill those guys. We managed to keep the center here, traded a little bit. We tried to get everything off that we can. So as you can see here, that's our, oh yeah, so that's our basically last player. So going through here, I know we can go forward with our Flamecasters. The shooting doesn't matter, we're not gonna kill that guy, but we want to block him so he cannot get on the zone. So we can score the zone another turn for sure. Our archers, if they don't die, they can score us the side, which gives us a lot of points this turn. And what else? Yeah, the Flamecasters gonna score us the center. They can also finish off that ballista there. So we have quick turns here. Yeah, chipping down a little bit on the Flamecasters. I mean, the Flamecasters, they're very... We did a good match with them, but they are not really the pieces you want to use to hold your late game center normally. But it's also something you really have to see with Sorcerer Kings. You have to be very specific about your objective point calculations late game, like. But I think that's a general thing in the game and with any factions, like how you can stop someone from scoring 1 or 2 points and maybe just squeeze a few more points in, even if you don't have like a lot of pieces left and it's looking, I mean right now it's looking pretty bad, but we still have good outs to draw it, win it. Not great outs, maybe I was like a bit too much. Not great outs, but I think still if we got a little bit more favor on that shooting on the AP2 guys, that could have helped us. So maybe if we get the scoring also a turn earlier, getting the 2 bases on it could have helped us. Because it was, each point was counting like crazy. As you can see, the score is 12-11 right now. So we go in our last few turns. Now we lose our Flamecasters, so we really run out of pieces. We are still not managing to kill off those AP2 guys, and I mean, each hit he lands on our archers is it's true damage. We have armor 2 with no evasion. I mean, just let me think how much hits I need. There are, what are they, 5, 10, 15 HP with defense 2, right? So we need about 25-ish hits, 22-ish hits to kill them. Which we had after 2 rounds of shooting and didn't manage to kill them with 4. So yeah, just to check if my calcs were kind of right here. Alright. Yeah, so now it's basically over. My only play here I had left was I'm able to go first. I move up with the Flamecasters, do the same play as before. I move them so if he charges us, he cannot get on the objective zone. If we survive with a miracle, we score the center, but that does not even matter because we don't need the center, we just need to score the side and prevent him from scoring the center to force a draw here. But sadly, he did the 3 damage with his last base of AP2 guys, killed our archers, and our flamecasters, they died in the center, and that was basically the game, and we lost it 18-17, and it was just a crazy close game, a lot of very important decisions. I had good dice early, he had the good dice late, so it was a even ground. We did a few mistakes here, but I think overall it was a good match from both players. I mean, at least I'm very happy with how I placed my stuff, and I really see where I did wrong. But what I can take from the game is we had good rituals. Overall we have good rituals. Not sure if I needed to save, but it's always good to have one ready if the spot is coming up. Overall good placement, we didn't block our stuff, we had good shooting, we got our spells off, we did the mistake with the Mahout that was kind of big. We made early the gamble with our flamecasters, and I really have to say the gamble we did early with the flamecasters was not good, it's too risky. So yeah, I think that's it for the game. I hope you learned something as well, and I see you next time, guys.